People and groups across Northeast Wisconsin preparing for the 2025 NFL draft already, including some homeowners who are looking to make extra cash. Property management company Simple Life Hospitality says it's been contacted by property owners across Wisconsin asking questions about renting out their homes during the 2025 NFL draft. At a workshop event this morning, leaders with Simple Life answered people's questions about renting and teaching them how to get their homes ready and also the precautions they must take to protect them, their property, and ensure a positive rental experience.